When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Every Who down in Who Newville liked the holidays a ton. But where to get great prices on gifts, they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one Who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and low prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as Who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
Welcome to the Dr. Raj podcast with Dr. Raj Dasgupta, a show all about educating patients, students, and aspiring doctors about better patient care. Dr. Raj is a quadruple board-certified physician and associate professor at the University of Southern California. He was a co-host of the TNT series Chasing the Cure with Ann Curry, as well as a regular on the TV show The Doctors. And now, here's our show.
Hi, and welcome to the Dr. Raj podcast. Now, what is this a podcast of? It's not just about medical knowledge and passing your board exams, though that's super important. This podcast is about wellness and happiness and great stories. And you know what? Just about having guests that want to help other people. And, today, because it's my podcast, I get to invite people that inspire me. And recently, I was involved with a nonprofit organization called KEEN, Kids Enjoy Exercise Now. And when I was there, kind of promoting KEEN, I met a very wonderful person who was there also to raise awareness about exercise. And KEEN really focuses on kids with special needs. So whether I say autism or cerebral palsy or Down syndrome, this encompasses just a fraction of the kids that have special needs. So meeting this person at a same event kind of motivated me. So today's guest is going to be talking about something that we all need, especially me, which is going to be a little more exercise and being healthy. So today's guest is going to be Rosa Acosta, and I'm going to read a bio about her, as we always do. For those who are into fitness and modeling, Rosa Acosta needs no introduction. The bold and beautiful Dominican wears many hats. She is a dancer, fitness guide, model, reality show star, and actress, all kind of squeezed into one. She describes herself as a ballet dancer, shower opera singer, and future chef, at least on her Twitter handle. Born and raised in the Dominican Republic, Rosa started classical ballet studies at the age of 4 in Centro De La Cultura in Santiago. She later moved on to the Instituto de Cultura y Arte, ICA, where she excelled as one of the most gifted students at the academy. Upon graduating with honors from ICA and the ballet school of Norma Garcia with a bachelor's degree in art with mentions in classical ballet. Rosa joined the Ballet Nacional Dominicano as the youngest soloist member in 2002. Rosa embarked on a modeling career in 2004, appearing in magazines, TV commercials, and very prestigious Dominican enterprises. In 2006, though, she decided to leave home and join her mother in the United States, where she continues to work as a model and actress. Her career took a major turn when she taped a series of videos showcasing her exercise passion, flexibility as a professional dancer. And these were called the stretching videos. And they had millions of views on YouTube. So this kind of launched her into a national spotlight, catching the attention of some of the super popular hip hop and R&B artists, such as Kanye West and Drake. She also has been featured on dozens of videos with other famous rap and R&B artists like Chris Brown, 50 Cent, P. Diddy, Busta Rhymes, and Snoop Dogg. The fitness star and entrepreneur recently launched a fitness clothing line called Body by Rosa Acosta. And she is also working on accompanying fitness videos, DVDs, to be released soon. And last, Rosa has been on reality TV shows. We'll ask her about that, such as Love and Hip Hop, Hollywood, the Chloe and Lamar. She pretty much has done it all. Her primary focus today is on fitness. She's been devoting most of her time to that lately. And her last line in her bio, and I'll agree to this 100%, is that she's extremely humble and down to earth. And I think that's why she's on my show today. Rosa, thank you very much for being here.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
Hey, let's do a little meet and greet. I'm going to ask you about the past, So how did you discover this passion for ballet? And when you're answering that, can you tell me what was the hardest part of, your education and training and becoming a professional ballerina?
Well, actually, I started very young. I was about 4 years old when my mom enrolled me in classes, and she just did it because it was something that she really wanted to do and couldn't at the time. So at the beginning, I had no desire or knowledge of why ballet was even, what was that even? But now, and as I started, taking classes and just learning, and I really got to love it. And I realized, oh, that's what I want to do when I grow up,
Yeah.
And I got really lucky. I actually did that. And I think the hardest part was actually having to deal with some eating disorders growing up. It's a very demanding career. And so it is very easy to allow the idea that others have for your body to interfere in who you are, who you want to be, and your health. And so, I was really young. I ended up having to deal with some of those obstacles, but I am totally good now. And I love ballet, and I love my experience as a dancer, but not everything is perfect. Everything comes with some cons. And I think having to deal with that was the main one, pretty much.
And I did do my homework, so I read a lot about you, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but you kind of hit it a little bit. I practice sleep medicine, and having sleep disorders goes hand in hand with some eating disorders quite often. And I was reading that you had, a passion about recognizing and acknowledging bulimia and anorexia. And, it's amazing to kind of battle these types of disorders. And it's so hard, both on women and men and younger individuals. So I think that's another part about, your story when I read about it that impressed me and where you are today. And I'm sure many of my followers would have, admire you about that.
Even now with the perceptions of perfection we see on social media, because everything is so filtered and edited and perfect, it could be really easy for girls to fall into those things, trying to chase looks that are not attainable. So I think it's really important for the community altogether to lift each other, especially young girls, and just let them know that they are beautiful and strong. We should aim to look like the best version of ourselves, whatever that might look for you, but without comparisons. So I hope that we as a community start doing a better job doing that, whether that is your family, your friends, your coworkers. It's important that we lift each other and realize that social media and reality are two different things. We see everything filtered and edited and beautiful and perfect on social media through pictures and videos. And so it's good to realize that it's two different things.
No, 100%. Great take-home messages. And let me kind of ask you this, because from your bio, you do a little bit of everything. You're amazing. You are a person of many skills. So I'm going to ask you, between the big ones, dancer, model, actress, which one do you actually love doing the most?
Well, right now it'd probably be acting, because I recently got to work in a TV show called Johnson. It's on Bounce TV. Our second season comes back July 10th. So I have learned so much about the whole thing, production and acting and how everything works. And it's really amazing. And my cast members have made it so easy for me that I feel like we're almost family. So it didn't feel like work. As to modeling, it's a little more boring now. I've been doing it for a long, long time. And it requires a lot of waiting, lots of times getting your makeup and your hair done, putting nice outfits. They have to set up the lights and, all kinds of things just for one quick picture, And
I don't know. No one ever wants to model me, so I don't know that.
Oh. And then ballet, I'm totally done with that. I love watching it. And I totally enjoy the music as well. That's one of the things that I'm so thankful I got introduced to. There's amazing classical music that it's now, I feel, a part of my life because it reminds me of beautiful ballets and operas. And so I enjoy that as well, but only as a viewer. I wouldn't perform ever again. So I will say right now it'll be acting. Yes.
You did reality TV. So I've always wanted to ask a reality TV person this question. So is it kind of annoying being on reality TV? Do you have any privacy? And here's the question I want to know. Are the arguments and fights real? Because it always seems that they're a little staged, but how did you like being on a reality TV show?
For me, it was easy. I had a great time and we kind of had an idea and we discussed some of the things that were going to be shown from me. And mainly it was a lot of my business. Although, at the end, I don't think those things are exactly what matters to people. They love more like the drama and the juicy content. Exactly. But I was mainly there trying to push my business, my clothing store, Cosa Mia, and my clothing line, Body by Rosa Acosta. So it was great. We had like privacy. We had like, obviously, it was not a camera 24/7 on us, but we had our shooting schedules. Now, if you're shooting, there's certain reality shows that the cameras don't stop. They are 24/7. Right. Those are probably a little bit more complicated. And I think, at some point more raw because the cameras are never turning off. So even if you are faking it, you can only fake it for so long. At some point, you are going to start showing who you really are. We had our scenes kind of like scheduled. So we were able to, when they say, action, we were bringing the character in. And then, when they say cut, we're back to normal. The problem is that while you get your hair and your makeup done and they are setting up the lights and everything, they ask you, would you like to have a vodka or would you like to have a glass of wine? And so once you are feeling once you're feeling a little happy, they come and tell you that the person that you're shooting says something bad about you. Now you're like a little drunk, a little confused. You thought that was your friend. Now they're telling you that she said something. So that's why I think most of the time these fights happen. Well, you wait, which is a long time. You drink a lot, and then they feed you a little piece of information that's not too nice. So then it's just a bad combination. So I think it's half and half, Yeah. I think, they don't fully put together the lie of a fight, but they kind of instigate it a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, back to, I want to ask you a question. So I did my interview research about you, and I was hoping you met a lot of famous people in your time and you're continuing to work with a lot of awesome people. I heard an interview about you and you're about a story when you first met Kanye West. Would you be nice enough to tell my listeners that funny story when you first met Kanye?
Yes. Well, as you mentioned earlier, I am not from America. And so as I came here, I, have been slowly learning the language and learning how to pronunciate things correctly. It's a daily work that I have to do. I try to learn different words. I do my best to pronounce everything correctly and everything, but I also have many pronunciations in my head that I swear are correct. And then when I say it, people say, what is that? And I have to spell it. But anyways, I have worked in several other music videos, and a music video director told me, Kenny wants your number. He wants to actually, work with you for other music videos. And I'm thinking, another director wants my number to hire me. So I said, yes, no problem. Give Kenny my number. And I was communicating with Kenny, and we wanted to meet up and discuss some like projects and stuff. And we got to meet somewhere. And when I got there, I saw this kind of like big guy waving at me. And I say, oh, hi, how are you? Nice meeting you. I'm Rosa. And he looks at me and points the other way. And when I look, it's Kanye West. So this whole time, I thought Kanye was Kenny. So I'm thinking it's a name guy, Kenny, that I'm meeting. And it's actually Kanye West. I was kind of like blown away. Like, oh my God, wait, is this really happening? And so I got to work with so many people that I admire and that I never imagined I would meet in person. And they are all amazing at what they do at their craft. And, I'm so appreciative for all the opportunities I got to work with them. And it was amazing. Yeah.
Well, hey, before we get into exercise question, one last fun thing I was going to ask you about, and I wanted to know if this is true or false. Are you into skydiving?
Well, I did it one time and it was great.
How was it? I got to ask you, me and my wife, we always, our bucket list is skydiving, and now I think I'm a little scared. I wanted to ask you, did someone literally kick you out of the plane because it was so scary? How was it?
No, it was actually great. So the first time you do it, you have to be strapped to somebody that has jumped several times, like a professional. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter if you want to jump or not. They actually do the jump. You don't need anything. You're strapped to them. All you have to do is surrender and enjoy that moment. I wasn't nervous and I actually really wanted to do it. So it was an excellent experience. I recommend that to anybody. The rush of adrenaline, it's really cool. And I think I was smiling for like 5 days straight.
Wow.
Just think every time I thought, oh my God, I did that. That was so cool. And I keep like smiling. It was great. So I recommend it. It's not as scary as people think, actually. I think like if you do bungee jumping, that's scarier because you actually
100%.
have to jump, When you skydive, somebody jumps for you. You just strap to them. But it was a lot of fun. You guys should do it.
Well, I always imagine right at the last moment, even if someone's strapped to my belly, I'll be like, please, how much money do you want not to jump? But
that's what I'm saying. At that moment, the best thing to do is just surrender and enjoy the moment. It's actually very liberating. I totally recommend it. Yes.
Well, hey, I want to make sure I ask you the most important questions. So I actually told my listeners, I said, hey, we're going to have a fitness guru here today. And if they would be nice enough to send me a couple questions, and I kind of said, these are not the listeners who are awesome, who are always working out. I wanted everyone who just wants to start working out to get some tips of how to get that motivation started. So these are practical questions. My first listener wants to know, how often should you exercise? What do you think for someone who's starting? How many times a week or a month? What do you suggest?
A minimum of 3 times a week. I think that the main thing is to stay consistent. So if you can do those 3 times, that's great. If you can start with a 30-minute walk around the neighborhood every day, that's great. Oh. If you can only do three times a week, then do that. I think the important thing is actually to start and to stay consistent. And then we can work the logistics on how much stronger you can get and how much better you'll get at all the movements. But a little movement every day is great, but I will say at least 3 times a week to start.
Okay, well said. So this kind of parlays that question pretty well. So what time of the day would be the best workout? Do you have a preference?
I have a preference. Personally, I love to do it either first time in the morning or midday. Not too late, because after that I start kind of like feeling like, oh, I'm a little tired from the day. But this is my preference. Some people love to, after a day of work, just getting in the gym and kind of like get the stress out of like the day, doing some cardio, doing some boxing, kind of like punching the bag or, lifting some weights. Then you get in the sauna, for example. And so for some people, the workout is kind of like taking the stress off of the day. So if that's your thing, then great. I think we all have to kind of like discover what works for us, what's more convenient. Because remember, we all have lives, and most people have families and kids, and we have to work around our significant others and kids' schedules, you know? So the most important thing I will say is to figure out what works for you and to not get discouraged. If you like to work out in the morning, but the only time you have is at night, then make that happen and use that as motivation that you can actually be disciplined to stay out of your comfort zone for a little bit. Yeah. Things are not always going to happen perfectly. I think this is like one of the reasons why workout is so hard, because people say, well, I don't have an hour. Okay, then just do 30 minutes. Well, I think we're waiting for things to be perfect to start working out. Let's just start with whatever you have, with whatever you can.
I agree with you. I was just going to say excuses. You know, I mean, I'll only speak for myself. It's like I always kind of make up things. Well, I got to be here at this time. Well, you know what? I just had a long day today. You're right. There's always some excuse not to work out, you know, and it's tough. So how long should a workout be? If you had to pick for someone getting started, is an hour too long? What do you think? What's your opinion?
Okay, so the first thing is that starting, you can do a full hour, no problem. It's just remember that you have to listen to your body, and you cannot go into your first day and think you're going to achieve what somebody that has been going to the gym for 2 or 3 years are achieving at the gym. So you can go and do a 10-minute warm-up, and then you can do your 30-minute workout, and then you can do 15-minute stretch. This could be your whole workout. Like, you know, you almost have an hour there. But if all you have is, 20 or 30 minutes, I think what's more important is the consistency rather than the time. You can effectively do a great workout in 30 minutes, or you could totally split it and do an hour or do an hour and a half. Depends on the intensity and depends on the fitness level you have. You might be able to get a really strong workout in 30 minutes. But sometimes, if you have the time, you want to extend it and do more cardio or do more stretching. So it just depends, There's not a universal question for this. We should listen to our bodies and see what works for us.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong way. I like that. Now, this is an interesting question. One of my listeners wants to know, and you could answer it based upon yourself too. Should they do strength training or cardio, or do you recommend a combination of? How do you answer that?
So a combination of is great. I love cardio. It kind of gets the blood going everywhere. Preferably, I will do a low intensity workout so our knees are not so hurt in the process. So a little cardio paired with a nice straight workout, that's great. If you're doing your cardio and lifting your weights, to me, that's the perfect combination. That's the magic number.
What do you do? What is your cardio favorite thing to do? And what is your strength training?
So I love hiking. I love outdoor stuff. I'll go there with my dogs. So you get to socialize, do your workout, get your dogs a nice workout as well. You're enjoying a beautiful view. Well, for us here in LA, we get those nice views. And I get my workout on. So it's kind of a couple of things. It feels like I'm doing something social, almost like I went out.
Yep.
But also I worked out. I also got the dogs out of the house. It's just really good. And I love to do it with friends. You're talking the whole time. So, it can take about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Nice.
To do a nice trail. And that's something that you can do on the weekends if you don't have time to do it every day. But I also, love regular things like the treadmill incline and the Stairmaster. It depends,
Okay.
But my favorite is definitely hiking. I mean, nothing beats being outside and enjoying a nice day.
So I got to ask, you said you bring your dogs. Another way me and you bonded was we're both dog people. Do you bring
Yes.
a 3-legged dog with you? I forgot her name. What's her name?
Lulu.
Lulu.
Yes, Lulu.
Do you bring Lulu? I'm not joking, listener. She has a 3-legged dog. Do you bring Lulu with you on the hikes?
Yes. And she's very inspiring. Sometimes people say, wow, she only has 3 legs and she does this whole trail. Wow, that's motivation. They say, A guy said the other day to me, the next time I feel like I can't do this, I'm going to think about your dog. Because she's so happy and she's so strong, doing her whole hike with her 3 legs. She's doing excellent. I mean, the doctors are delighted with her health. But yeah, she's very inspiring on the walks. People stop her all the time.
I would stop you too if I saw that. 2 more of these exercise questions. So I like this one quite a bit. And I think I need to know this answer. How does one stay motivated to work out? What is your trick to day in, day out, week after week, month after month to say, this is what I want to do? How do you stay motivated?
Well, the first thing is that nobody stays motivated every day. There's going to be a day that we don't want to go or we feel like we just can't go. And the magic is to go even when you don't want to. If you only work out when you have motivation, you're going to fail because this is not something that's going to be there every day. Unfortunately, we're going to have our bad days. Unfortunately, you are going to feel sad one day or, a little tired or, you have a little headache or you're going to give yourself a little excuse. Well, I really have to sit in my computer 30 more minutes. Maybe I'll just get it done tomorrow. And there's no magic trick and there's no special tip. You just get up and you do it. That's it. No excuses. You get up and you do it, whether you want it or not. Discipline is staying with the program.
Yeah.
Regardless of what's happening in the outside. For example, for you as a doctor, there were days that you were too tired. You didn't want to study,
Yeah.
It would have been better if you hang out with your friends and went for beers, right?
Yeah.
I know that there was maybe a movie you really wanted to watch or a TV show you really wanted to watch, but you needed to study and you make the decision that was better for you.
Yeah.
So waiting until things are perfect, your mood is perfect, you feel great to do things. What allows us to be greater than what we were yesterday is pushing through those moments. I feel like a sports player will never get better by just, today I don't feel good, so I'm not going to go training. They actually become greater when they push through and go, regardless of the excuses. You got to think like you're an athlete. Like if you don't go to the gym, you guys are going to lose the championship. You got to feel like the LeBron James of your household.
Good analogy.
You have to go be the best.
Well, hey, this question, this is the last question about workouts, is going to be kind of directed about you, which is one of my fans, listeners, wants to say, apart from doing your workouts, and you have amazing workouts there, what else do you do to take care of your health? So besides exercise, is there anything else you do that you take passion about?
I don't drink.
Good.
Lots of water.
Okay.
Yeah. Not saying that a little drink here and there is bad, but if you can cut on those drinks, it'll be good. I think you'll feel better. Drinks lots of water. I try to eat a very healthy diet, and I love to be outdoors.
Yeah.
I know we probably don't have the cleanest air, but it's still it helps my mood, and it's nice to go out. And we have a beautiful city. We have beautiful nature. So I love to stay connected with nature. I have lots of plants at home. So I think overall, I try to stay positive. I think that's like something that keeps me healthy from the inside out. Try to stay positive.
I like that. As we're winding down, I think I just want to ask you, with all the things you're doing, so what is the next step in your career right now? And what are you focusing on right now?
Well, I'm working on my own supplement line. Hopefully that's going to be ready very soon. We are gearing to present Body by Rosa Acosta again on New York Fashion Week. We did it last February, and I'm hoping we can bring it back for September. And also my show, Johnson, second season is premiering July 10th on Bounce TV. So hopefully you guys are going to watch that. And, just doing a little bit of everything, staying healthy, staying happy, and enjoying my puppies.
Well, one last question, then we'll kind of wind it down, which is, I'm sure people are going to want to learn more about you. So I want to give you an opportunity. Do you have like a website, or what's the best way if people want to get more tips about exercise, or to get motivated again, or check out your clothing line and TV show? What's the best way to find you?
So you can find me on all social media. You can find me on Instagram at Rosa Acosta, and then you can click the link in my bio, and there's a link to all the other social media platforms and all my websites and my clothing line and everything that I got going on. So make sure that you check me out there.
And you know what, everyone, as always, all this information will be on the show notes for the Dr. Raj podcast. And let me say, the last part of her bio was Rose is extremely humble and down to earth. And as you could tell today, she just is. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us and chat with us and give us some health tips today. You're amazing.
Of course, anytime. Hopefully we'll see each other soon. I'm looking forward to teach dance class with the members of Keen. So maybe I'll see you soon for that.
Oh, that is awesome. All right. Thanks again, everyone. And stay tuned for another episode of the Dr. Raj podcast.
Thanks for listening. This has been a production of Ars Longa Media. Our producers are Madison Linden and Chris Brightigan. Our executive producer is Dr. Patrick Beeman. This podcast is for educational purposes only and not intended for medical advice. Ars Longa, Vita Brevis.
So you want to start a business. You might think you need a team of people and fancy tech skills, but you don't. You just need GoDaddy Aero. I'm Walton Goggins, and as an actor, I'm an expert in looking like I know what I'm doing. GoDaddy Aero uses AI to create everything you need to grow a business. It'll make you a unique logo. It'll create a custom website. It'll write social posts for you and even set you up with a social media calendar. Get started at GoDaddy.com/Aero. That's GoDaddy.com/AIRO.